Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. As you can tell, I'm in a slightly different place today. I'm in my sitting room because my boyfriend has taken over my room as his office and his stuff is everywhere. So it's not up to my standards of cleanliness in the background. As you can see here, got a couple of planty things going on. I would do a tour of my plants, but it's not really my kind of content. You guys have been asking for more running content recently, and rightly so. I think winter's a great time to get into running. It's really the only time you can be outside because you heat up so much as you're running, and it means that you can actually spend some time outside in the light, getting some sun on your skin for that vitamin D, which is very important, which you wouldn't be able to do if you were all wrapped up and walking around or indoors. So I thought I'd give you a bit of an insight into the races that I have coming up, because you guys ask a lot, how do I find the races that I do? Like, how do I even discover them? There are so many out there, but how do you know which are the good ones? And how do you know which ones are the ones that are well organized, or trail races, or easy under the foot, or really difficult, all that kind of stuff? You can't necessarily tell from their websites. I'm here to give you some recommendations if you want them, and also to ask for your help, because some of the races I'm doing are seriously tough, as you will see. But just to get started, I will tell you what I've done this last year, because I think that gives a bit of background into what kind of races I want to do and why I want to do them. It is November. This time last year, I was just about to do my first boxing fight. That was kind of pretty much the start of my addiction to challenges. Prior to that, I think in September, I'd done my first ever adventure race, which was 34 kilometers up a mountain, including kayaking in the middle, so quite similar to the race I did relatively recently. If you want to check those out, I've got vlogs on both of those from last year. Fast forward, I was asked to do Tokyo Marathon in December. I started my training in January. Tokyo Marathon was on the 3rd of March, and that totally messed me up. And afterwards I said, I'm never doing that again. Never, ever, ever, ever. That was too much. It's not for me. I'm not a long distance runner. I can't do it. So that was March. In May, I did a 10k race, which was the Brighton 10k, in which I got my 10k PB, which was 45:18. And then in July I did Tough Mudder, which was 10 miles, and then I had nothing up until Quest Killarney, which is the adventure race that I did the other day, just around a month ago now, which is a mix of running, cycling and kayaking. It's basically a triathlon, but random distances over mixed terrain, quite often in a national park and beautiful areas where you don't have to swim. So big fat thumbs up from me. I hate swimming with a passion. So if you're expecting me to do a triathlon this next year, it's not happening. I'm sorry, it's not happening. I am planning on doing some more adventure racing. And if you are looking for something outdoorsy, but you're not necessarily a strong swimmer, or you just really enjoy good scenery, I cannot recommend more giving an adventure race a go, because the views are incredible. You're not trying to get a PB of your 10k because you're not doing set distances. It's just like a random distance in a beautiful place, and it's mixed discipline. So if you find one thing really difficult, you'll probably still excel at something else. Well, basically I asked you guys what kind of races, what kind of challenges that I should do, and I am gonna read out some of the answers you gave me, because honestly I think you guys are insane, absolute sadists. So without further ado, these are the responses you gave when I asked you what stuff I should do this next year. So your answers range from being about sprinting to being about running ultramarathons. So I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna train for all of those things at once, but I'm gonna read some out here. 1k as fast as possible, sub 3:10. Okay, running around different cities, like a running sightseeing tour, 100k in 10 days. I think I could probably do that one. Maybe we'll give that one a go. 2020 miles in 2020. I have no idea how far I run each week, so really I don't know if that's feasible or not. You guys will have to tell me. Quit caffeine for a month. Done and done. Don't do that. Ooh, 12 hours or 24-hour race. Watch this space. Train to improve a mile time over a month. Orienteering. So adventure racing involves sometimes orienteering, so you get given a map and you have to go from A to B, and they don't necessarily mark it out easily. So I will definitely be giving that a go at some point. A pony club Tetrathlon. Riding, shooting, running, and swimming. I can do 2 of those things. Shooting and swimming are not it. Sub 1:45 half marathon. That would be really cool. Sub 25k plan. So my current 5k time is 21 minutes and 20 seconds. So to get sub 20 would be a big deal. Currently I'm aiming for sub 21, but I haven't really tried it recently because I've just been trying to do longer and longer distances rather than faster. But that is something that I could be interested in. Sub 40 10k, are you insane? Another challenge like the 3 peaks. Run the 3 peaks, you know you want to. Okay. The sprinting challenge, get those fast twitch fibers going. Ha. Yeah. I would like to do that at some point. That is kind of my background, as in much shorter, much quicker running, and I would really like to give that a go. 100k in a month, could definitely do that. 100 miles in a month might be more difficult. Tough Mudder, done and done. Compared parkrun courses, there's something called the, I think it's like the alphabet challenge, where you try and do a parkrun of each letter of the alphabet. Obviously that would take a lot of years, so that'd be quite an extended YouTube video. I'm not sure that exists yet, but yes, I am trying to do as many parkrun courses as possible. Half marathon, triathlon, run every day of January. No. Southwest Coast Path, we're currently trying to do that at the moment. Run the original marathon, that's the ones in one in Athens, I think? Athens? Try running barefoot for a month. Train for a new 5k PR, yeah. Oh, so many. Oh yeah, the Kipchoge challenge. Run his marathon pace on a treadmill for as long as possible. Would you guys like to see that? I think I'd get all of maybe like 20 seconds. In case you don't know, his marathon pace I think is around 21 kilometers an hour, which of course he does for sub 2 hours. And I could do maybe 4 and a 100-meter sprint. We'll see whether that happens. Pain-free run, that's from my physio. Yeah, I've done dusted. I did a 17.5k trail run on Sunday and had no pain for the whole of it, which I was delighted about. Touch wood. I've been fine recently, and it's been an absolute godsend. I've been working really hard on my physio at the gym, as well as doing lots more runs, but all of my runs have been off-road as much as possible because it's the road that hurts me rather than the runs themselves, if that makes sense. Elevation challenge, so that's running at elevation. You can have these elevation chambers. I think a gym called Third Space has them, and what it is it basically reduces the oxygenation of the air around you, which is how your muscles replenish their oxygen. Basically, when you breathe, they replenish oxygen, and you can go further. But when you have less oxygen, then they have to work harder, and your hemoglobin in your blood has to bind oxygen better. So if you train at altitude for a long period of time, your hemoglobin gets better at binding oxygen. It's called the higher affinity to oxygen, and that means that when you come back down to sea level or similar to sea level, then you have an added benefit, which is why a lot of people go and train at Iton in Kenya. I don't know why I know so much about this, but anyway, it is really tough when you first go and train at altitude, and I don't think I'm quite there yet, but maybe one day would be really cool. An ultramarathon, and another person said a sub 25k. Okay, so you guys have all sorts of horrible ideas about what I'm going to be doing this next year, but thank you for all of your input. I will be taking some of it into account, and I have signed up for some races, so let me tell you about them now. My first race coming up is actually really soon, and it was the one that I was actually asked to do most recently as well. It's a thing that happens when you're a blogger. Quite often there are not very many running bloggers out there, so when you show that you're enthusiastic about running, people pounce and they ask, can you do this, can you do that, would you like to have this race entry for this ultramarathon in 3 weeks, which essentially is what has happened. So on the 23rd to the 28th of November, there's the Tribe Run for Love, which is a 250 kilometer ultramarathon in the Azores, just off the coast of Portugal, and that's to raise money for the Tribe Freedom Foundation, which works to raise awareness of modern day slavery, and they work with multiple other charities to both raise awareness but also raise money to stop human trafficking. And I was asked to do that, and there's no way that I can run 250 kilometers in 6 days. The hardest day is a double marathon. It's 80 kilometers, and you start at 3 in the morning and you continue for the full day until you've done basically the 80 kilometers. I know for a fact that that would be detrimental for me. I'm not trained for it. I did the marathon in March and that nearly killed me, and I've not really done any other long distance running training since then. But I said I would really like to go out there and I would really like to raise awareness for the charity. So how about I run every single day that I'm out there, but don't do the full distances. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out and do around 4 days of consecutive running. It's super mountainous, it's all trails. I will run sort of 10 to 20k a day, maybe a little bit more on some of the days, to get used to what an ultramarathon feels like. So some of the days you're camping, you're eating freeze-dried food. Some days you're starting at 3 in the morning, so that you have the maximum amount of daylight possible to run in. I've never done an ultramarathon and I'd really like to do some more, so this will be a kind of test, even if the distances aren't the same. So maybe you'll think it's a bit of a cop-out. It probably is, but I was asked to do this last week and there's no way that I can train for it in that time, and I would really like to raise awareness for the charity. So if you go and check it out, I'll actually link it down in the box below so that you can go and check out the charity and the race itself, but this one sounds really cool. The same week as that, so that is from 2 weeks time and then the Sunday of the week afterwards, on the 1st of December, I'm doing the Maple Durham 10 miles, which is a trail race that I signed up to last year, did the 10k version last year, and Rhian and I did really well. I think we came like 18th and 19th out of a couple of hundred people, which was really fun, and it was my first proper cross-country race that was over 6k, because females often do 6k and they split up the men and the women, and I don't see the point in that, especially as women can definitely run as far if not further than the men. So this is a mixed sex trail race over 10 miles in Reading, or near Reading. They still have a couple of spaces, I think, so this will be something that's a lot more feasible than racing in the Azores and ultramarathon. So if you'd like to sign up for that, please do. I have a couple of my followers coming to that, a lot of my family, a lot of friends, so it should be a really fun day out, and I have a vlog of that as well, which I'll try and link down below in case you want to see what it's about. So then you got to fast forward a couple of months to the 5th of April, where I've been asked to do the Paris Marathon, and I haven't said anything yet. This is a big question mark moment. I don't know if I want to do it because it is a full-on road race, or road run, I guess. You're not gonna race it. The last marathon that I did, like I keep saying, I found super tough. But then again, it's just the New York Marathon has just happened and I got super motivated by that. A lot of my friends did it. Everyone seemed to love it. The atmosphere is incredible and I love the training for it. So I think it might be worth doing. What do you guys think? And I'll be bringing Rhian as well if I do it, so we can train together and do a lot more training videos. So let me know if you think that I should do it. I'm kind of, I'd say 70% keen to do it, 30% absolutely terrified. So let me know, and I will see what I think within the next week and then tell you whether I've said yes or no. And the reason, one of the reasons I want to do that is because on the 18th to 19th of July, I have signed up to Race to the Tower, which is an 84-kilometer ultramarathon in the Cotswolds in England. That'll be my first ultramarathon. You know, you've probably got to do a marathon before you do an ultramarathon. That is run by Threshold Sports. Maybe raising money for charity for that one as well, because that'll be the toughest run that I've ever done. So there are multiple options when you do the Threshold Sports series. You can either do it all in one go, or you can split it up and camp in the middle. So essentially what we're doing is the easier option, yeah, thankfully, which is you run a marathon. I can't believe that's the easier option. Anyway, you run a marathon and then you camp overnight and then you run another marathon the next day, and we will be doing that. And the great thing about those is that it's an amazing atmosphere, it's in a beautiful part of the world, you can walk lots of it, thank God, and basically you just enjoy it kind of for what it is. It's not the same as a road marathon where you've got to run the whole way and you're trying to get it as quickly as possible. Because this is such a hilly race, off-road, you're just there to complete it rather than compete and try and do as fast as possible. And the month before that, so I've gone a little bit backwards, we're doing Quest Wales, which, if you remember that I mentioned that I did Quest Killarney in Ireland, which is the adventure race, this is part of their series as well. So this one's in Snowdonia and it is a 55-kilometer adventure race, which, as I mentioned, is a mix of running, cycling and kayaking, except this will be longer. The last one was 27k, this one's 55k, and I'm so excited for it because I've never been to Snowdonia. Apparently it's beautiful. So I will link all the races down below because I would love if you guys could sign up. I honestly think that signing up for something that you genuinely don't know that you can do is amazing for your mentality, for your mental health. Basically all the challenges that I've signed up to, other than the 10Ks, I haven't known that I can complete. I've signed up kind of blind with the knowledge that I know how to train hard and that I like training, but no prior evidence that I can actually do this sort of thing. So when I did my boxing fights, I had no idea. I honestly thought that I was gonna fail both of them, and I didn't know how hard it was gonna be. It was really difficult, but the completing it was the most rewarding thing I had done in my life up to that point. Same with the marathon, it didn't go to plan, but completing it was the best thing that I'd done, and doing all the training as well left me feeling like, oh, previously I hadn't been able to run 10k, and here I am doing a 16 miler, 26k on the weekend as part of the training. And within the space of a few weeks, I've got up to that level just from training with someone. I really would recommend signing up to one of these challenges. If you don't think that any of these challenges are for you, that's absolutely fine. I would just think, sign up for your first 5k, sign up for a 10k, sign up for your first trail race, give adventure racing a go. Whatever it is, these things are all amazing, and they show you what you are capable of, which is a lot more than you previously think. I know it's cheesy, but it is so true. We're all capable of a lot more than we thought, and it is addictive. So once you've done one, you'll be doing them everywhere, like me. I can guarantee that. So anyway, I think that is it. If you have any questions, obviously pop them down below. If you did enjoy this, please do give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, because as you can tell, there'll be a lot more training videos coming up, and I will be training hard for what we have, because it is going to be tough. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon, and I'll speak to you later. Goodbye.